Alright, so welcome to blog number 1. This is where I'm going to introduce who I am, what goal I have set for myself, and how I'm going to measure it and hopefully achieve it, and by when. So, my name's Megan. I'm doing this goal setting challenge through my teaching phys.ed course. However, it is something that I have been thinking about doing on my own anyways, and so choosing to do the goal setting challenge instead of the philosophy was just a way of kind of forcing myself to do it, because there's now a grade attached to it as well as a timeline. So my goal is to increase my body confidence and what that means to me by April 2nd. I want to see significant differences, and how I'm going to be measuring this is through my research. I have been able to find various questionnaires and rating scales about how I perceive my own body and how I compare it to others and what I actually want from my body. Various researchers have developed these kind of psychological rating scales and tests that I have found online through my research, and I'm going to be completing them. I've already done a series of them before I've started my body confidence changing and my journey to increase body confidence and whatever that means. So during, I'm going to be doing it again at around February 11th, which is the check-in point that the professors have already set up, and then I'll be doing another final one around April 2nd when this final project is due, and I'm going to try and get a full level increase. So that could mean that I am either feeling more positive or I'm comparing myself less to others. So full level or number value increase or decrease, whichever way that needs to go, by April 2nd, and that will mean that I have significantly changed my own perception of my body and my own confidence in my body. I would say by a fair amount, since most of the scales are either a 4 or a 5, so I've changed it at least 20%, which I think is fairly significant, especially for someone like myself who has struggled with body confidence most of my life, I would say. And the reason why I chose this was, yes, I have suffered with it, and it has made it so that it's difficult for me to want to go to the gym and want to wear gym clothes and want to leave my house. But also when as a class we were going through and explaining whether or not we enjoyed physical education as students, a lot of the times the girls would stop enjoying gym class because they no longer had the confidence to participate and want to participate. And I thought that was really significant, and that as a teacher, if I end up teaching gym class, I want to make sure that the girls, because it was mainly girls, but also the boys who have body confidence issues, and a lot of them do, they just don't really notice as much because it's not throughout the media, but instill that sense of confidence and that sense of power that they can and are able to perform in gym class, and there's no reason not to, because they are strong individuals and they're just fine, because really we all were. It's a huge perception thing. So through this, we'll be experiencing some obstacles, I know that for sure, and the 3 obstacles or barriers that I've anticipated for this journey is, first of all, weekends. I love sitting down on a Friday night and eating a really, really delicious yet fattening and all that kind of meal. And with body confidence, I do associate it with weight loss and being thinner and fitter, and I do want to do that because I've gained a lot of weight within the past year, so I definitely want to do that. So weekends, my husband and I will sit down and we will have a few drinks and we will eat, and we'll play video games, and we'll have really terrible snack food, and I love that bonding part. But now I need to figure out how to do it so that I still feel good about myself the next couple of days, and I'm not restarting my path every Monday. That is going to set me back every week. So I do anticipate those being a struggle. I also have a lot of internalized negative self-talk about not being happy enough with my body, and why do I do this and why do I do that, and so a lot of negative self-talk. And I do think that I have put in place a few things for my supports that will help me with that, so I'll get to that. And also impatience. I am a very impatient person. I'm like everybody else. I want to see dramatic results right away. But this is something that is going to take a while. Like, this is already from January to April. It's 4 months, and I'm only expecting 25 to 20%. Like, yeah, that's still a lot. At the same time, that's not 100% in 4 months, and it's not 100% tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to really work on my impatience and be patient with myself and realize that it took me a long time to get here, so it's gonna take me a long time to get to where I want to be. So I need to really understand that it's gonna take time. Some supports that I do have are friends and family. So letting my husband know that this is my journey, that this is what I want to change, and then changing what we eat on our weekends or how we structure our weekends so that we're doing physical activities outside instead of being inside playing video games or doing something like that. And then I also have really great friends who can support me on this, so sharing the blog that I've made and sharing these videos that I'm making with them so that maybe they can join me as well and support me through this, because it's going to be tough and I'm going to get impatient and I'm going to get angry. I'm also using the Headspace app, which has some great meditations for impatience, for healthy eating activities, for body positivity, just all that sort of stuff. So I do have a subscription to that I plan on using mainly when I get disgruntled, but I might make it a daily or weekly thing depending on how I can fit it into my schedule. And then also taking some self-love time. So I love taking baths. That's one of like the me time things, like putting on candles, bubble baths, that sort of thing. When I'm gonna get frustrated, I will take some me time and just pamper myself, and that is allowed, and I need to make sure that that's allowed. Through the research that I was able to find on this topic, I focused a little bit on self-confidence and body image in children in order to figure out what they're experiencing now. And it was interesting that students as young as 4 or 5 years old are already experiencing a want to change or a sense of dissatisfaction with their body, and they would like to either be smaller, skinnier, or bigger. So it was actually kind of 50-50 with the changes in girls and boys at about the age of 5. The study was between 4 years and 7 years old, and they did both boys and girls, which I think is really important because I know that boys suffered just as much as girls do with body image. They just feel it in a different way, and it's typically more towards they want their body to look more athletic rather than thinner like girls do. They want their bodies to look more athletic, and they want to be leaner, and they want to be faster, and they want to be stronger. And so boys' body image issues stem from that point of view, whereas women and girls just want to look, typically they want to look thinner, especially if their friends want to look thinner. There's a big peer input. The study that I found was where teachers were charged with bringing in body confidence style lessons, so how to increase body confidence, because teachers are already in place and are already teaching children about different things, so why not teach them about body confidence as well? And so I believe Dove and another group went into Australian schools, and they tried to change how students felt about themselves and their body confidence, and they did see significant improvement with girls. Boys, they didn't see any long-term improvement, which was interesting, that boys just didn't care after a while. So maybe hitting them again instead of at the young age, hitting them again at adolescence, and seeing as boys' bodies start to change and they hit puberty a little bit later, they're going to see differences in their bodies way more then and start getting dissatisfied, which sucks, but it's the truth. So they're going to get a little bit more dissatisfied around puberty as they try to fit in with different friend groups. With adult bodies, a lot of the ones that I looked at for the research held the same thing, and it was interesting. I found in one of them that this was the ideal body internalization it was a comparison between American women and Czech and Polish women and how they're different. And American women, so I know Canada's a little bit different than America, but at the same time we're very similar with how we treat our women, and we get a lot of the same kind of stigmatization from our media. And in this one, it says that the ideal body standards that we perceive from the media, we somehow align it with happiness. So once we reach that ideal body shape, once we get that right BMI, once we lift that right amount of weight, once we finally think that we look ideal, or if we think that we're finally going to make that ideal, we associate that with happiness. So as soon as we always think that we're going to be happy if we reach that, we're going to be we're finally going to be happy, we're finally going to make it, we're finally going to be what we want to be if we just get to that BMI, if we just get to that size. But really, that's not going to happen. We need to take a step back and actually work on ourselves, which is why I'm really into this goal setting practice, that I know I'm not going to be any happier when I hit my size 6, or I'm not going to be any happier if I'm a size 4. I'm not going to be any happier when my BMI finally says that I'm underweight or average weight or the right weight, because I don't think it's ever really going to happen. I'm short. It's going to be hard. So I thought that was really interesting, that this kind of internalization is apparently equal to our happiness, and what we actually want is unnatural and unhealthy, and that's not where we're supposed to be. And another research study, an exercise, a mental exercise for boosting body confidence. So it's about positive body aspects journal writing. So every day in a journal, you think about aspects of your body that you are grateful for. This can be anything, including your health, physical appearance, or functionality of your body. So you're going to be trying to come up with at least 5 different things, and then taking a minute to really think about it, really reflect on it, picturing them in your mind. And then once I've finished thinking about them, I choose 3 of them to write down, and write down why I'm grateful for them. So actually like really being meaningful and purposeful and intentional about this whole process, so that I actually see a benefit after a while. So I'm supposed to be doing this daily until April. That's a daily journal writing prompt that actually came from a research study. It was an online research study, and they found that significant improvements in women's perceptions of their body images and their body confidence. So I'm going to be doing that, as well as daily exercise. I currently do 5 days a week. I'm going to try and boost it to 6 days a week, so that again, those weekends, they kill me, so I'm going to try and boost it up to 6 days a week. So at least I'm doing something during the weekends, just getting out, being active, getting some sunshine, which is hard during these winter months. We're gonna see how that goes. I will link all of the resources that I found, all of the research that I did. I'll link that down below. I'll also include that journal prompt. So I'm going to be doing weekly vlogs, but I'll make sure to put in all of that research that I found, that journal prompt for those who want to join me, and psychological testings and grading scales that I found online. I will link those. I'll make sure that there's a link below, and I will highlight which ones that I did. I did 3 of them: social cultural attitudes towards appearance, physical appearance comparison, and verbal commentary on physical appearance, so frequency and effect. And that one was really interesting. It's about how we're able to take in compliments, and how we feel about compliments, as well as insults, and how we perceive them, and how we took them, and how we internalize them. And it was interesting. Don't take compliments very well. So I will see you guys next week.